Drinking buddies, this bottle of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof A124 has an age statement of only 10 years, 9 months. So obviously we need a riot, right, guys? Anyway, drinking buddies, that has led to some people giving this some unfavorable reviews. But let's see if those age statements really matter. I have a 10-year-old pick we're going to compare this to, and I have the glorious 13 year, 7 month C923 here that we're going to compare it to. I'm doing this blind. I want to remove any of the hype, any of the bias. Let's find out how good A124 really is.
I'm your drinking buddy.
All right, drinking buddies. So as I said in the intro there, A124, I think that a lot of people are judging it before they've tried it because of the lower age statement. Could be terrible. I don't know. Somewhere in these glasses. But I really want to do this blind because I want to remove the hype. I want to remove the bias. I really want to compare it to C923 because for two reasons. One, this is the last batch. And two, it is one of the best Elijah Craig Barrel Proofs I've ever tasted. Loved this one. This is 133 proof. The A123 or A124, sorry, is a little lower. It's 119 proof. So maybe that's another reason why people are kind of, because it's a lower proof. This is a PPLD pick, so that's Park Place Liquor and Deli. That's in Flagstaff and in Prescott. I've never been there, but a wonderful fan, a wonderful subscriber keeps sending me their samples of their picks. And every pick I've tasted has been fantastic. One of their picks won my Advent tournament. Anyway, 137.4. So that's the big boy as far as proof goes. What's the best one? I don't know. Let's find out. Oh yeah, this is a nice leathery nose, like leather shoes. Yeah, old books, caramel. Snickers bar. There's like dark chocolate. Well, Snickers isn't dark chocolate, but I'm getting dark chocolate and caramel and subtle peanut. You ever had peanut butter pie before? Peanut butter pie. Anyway, yeah, that's peanut butter. That's confectionery sugar. That's baked goods like a pie crust or like a croissant. Little bit of a black tea thing on here. That is just delicious. That's good. Whatever that is, that's great. Now I'm immediately getting an older note here. It is oaky. So there's oak, there's medicinal cherry off of this guy. This smells older. Whatever's in glass 1 is good, but glass 2 is much better. It is medicinal cherry. It is just giving way more rounder flavors where it's really just coating my tongue and just giving me like a ton of notes just everywhere. Like at the tip of my tongue, I'm getting like just like a spicy cinnamon thing that's burning like singeing the tip of my tongue like a chili spice. You know, at the back of my tongue, I'm getting like leather and tobacco, and just all over my entire mouth I'm getting like this wonderful cherry thing. I think that's the C923. I'm pretty used to that flavor profile, but yeah, that is really good. That is delicious. Before we get any further though, I want to ask you guys to make sure you hit like and make sure you're a subscriber of the channel, because I do stuff like this all the time. I tend to do things almost always blind because I like to remove the bias, I like to remove the hype, and also a lot of, sometimes this was not sent to me, but sometimes things are sent to me, and when things are sent to me, I want to give you honest feedback, and the only way I can really give you honest feedback if something is sent to me is if I do it blind. Glass 3. This is a weird note, but I immediately went to wheatgrass, like the drink at like a smoothie place, like wheatgrass. That's what I'm getting on the nose here. Also caramel. And this one's proofier. Just like off the nose. This is giving me the most proof off the nose. Little oak here too. There's some oak. That is tobacco. That is oaky, like oak drying out my tongue. So maybe I was wrong about this one being the C923 because that is the oldest. But yeah, it's like that tannic like oak that's just like soaking into my tongue and kind of drying it out. Black tea, caramel, vanilla. The only one that gave me peanuts is the first one. So if you want to get a bottle of Booker's for slightly less, buy whatever's in glass one. That's the other great thing about these. For being, mostly 10 plus years old. What is the new one that's so controversial? Is it 11 years? 10 years, 9 months. Okay, that's a little young for an Elijah Craig barrel proof. All right, so maybe there is some truth to that because they're normally 12 years or older. And, the Elijah Craig barrel proof single barrel store picks are often 8 years and older. And I've had some bangers in that line that are like 8, 9, 10 years old. But the best part about them is they're between 80 and $100 depending upon where you live. Whereas, the Booker's, which I also love, don't get me wrong, is $100 plus, and those are 6.5 years old. So even a Stag Junior, which there is no way I would ever make any complaints about the glorious Stag Junior here. They're only 6 to 8 years old, but they're $60. So if you buy these at retail, there is no better bargain in all of whiskey. If you're paying secondary or higher for them, you're buying them at an antique shop. Yeah, obviously they're not that great, but there's no better bargain in all of whiskey than Stag. If we were to take the mainline, single barrel proof whiskeys that we get multiple releases each year, that would be, your Larceny barrel proof, your Elijah Craig barrel proof, your Stag, and your Booker's. I really think that's all there is for mainline major distilleries. I would wager that 9 times out of 10, that Stag is going to be the best release every year. Followed by Elijah Craig, and I would say that it's probably closer than some people want to admit. Elijah Craig barrel proofs are really good. And then for my money, I would say that Booker's is right behind it too. I'm not a big Larceny barrel proof fan. I know some of you guys are, but I'm not a huge fan. Anyway, I'm going to go through these one more time. I'll tell you which one's my favorite. We'll try to make some guesses, and I'll tell you which one maybe you should be looking for. All right, drinking buddies, I did one more sip out of each of these. I took some time. I thought about it. I gave it a little bit of extra due diligence because, if I'm going to recommend this thing, I got to be 100% sure. But the second time through, I found a couple extra interesting notes that I thought I would throw at you. Both of these guys both have it like an orange zest thing that I don't normally pick up off of Elijah Craig, but I got it off of both of those. And then this one, I got a really cool like pumpkin pie spice. It almost reminded me for a second of like you're smelling a pumpkin spice latte for a second. And then it went back to, oh yeah, I'm nosing a glass of whiskey. But anyway, I'm going to actually say all 3 of these whiskeys are a buy for me. So that's the pick I think that's the pick that I think is the C923, and that is the A124, I think. But the reason that this one is my least favorite, I do like these more for sure. But this one, it drinks more, less in your face, a little bit smoother, a little bit less oak, a little bit less proof, a little bit more approachable. That's not Elijah Craig barrel proof. Elijah Craig barrel proof is punch you in the face with proof and flavor. And that's what I like Elijah Craig barrel proof. That's why I like Booker's. That's why I like Stag. They're punch you in the face. They're unapologetic about their proof and their flavor, and that's why I like them. And this one does kind of lose a little bit of that at 119 proof. And I got it. I keep talking about it like I'm right. Let's find out if I'm right. I am wrong. I am wrong. The 137.4 proof pick is the one drinking softer, mellower, and more toned down, mild. Wow. Wowzer. Wowzer. Okay, so why could this be happening? All right, let's break this down. Single barrels tend to, because these are single barrels. This is a single barrel. Whereas these are barrel proof blends. So they took a blend of, on this case, 13 years, 7 months old whiskey up to 100-year-old whiskey. Obviously, they didn't put 100-year-old whiskey in here, but anything over 13 years and 7 months can be in this blend. For this one, they took, a 10-year, 9-month whiskey. That's the youngest whiskey in here, but the older whiskey in there, there could be older whiskey in there. There definitely is older whiskey in there. They took a bunch of barrels. They blended it to what they wanted. They found that the master blenders here, they felt like that was what they wanted to deliver to you. That they got all of these notes out of this, and they're like, yeah, this is an Elijah Craig barrel proof. Let's put our stamp of approval on here. The PPLD pick here, this is a single barrel. So this is one barrel. Hey, you get to pick from these 3 barrels. Which one's your favorite? This was their favorite. But why would this finish last? Let me explain. I'm sorry. I'm being a redundant here. Anyway, single barrels can sometimes be one note. Sometimes they can be not as interesting as a blend, not as interesting as something that somebody took the time and effort to take this barrel and that barrel, and let's take 10% of that barrel and let's take 40% of that barrel and see what happens. And it's not done just to get the job done. It's done to deliver an excellent product. So sometimes a single barrel can fall a little bit flat on flavor. But I will tell you, I'm really impressed with this particular single barrel. Why? Because it's 137 proof and it drank the lightest. So it's giving us some great smoothness where it's drinking well below its proof. That drinks like 115 proof. That is impressive. That is a buy all day. Now I'm getting a little bit of honey and tobacco. Anyway, great pick, great job. But these 2 guys, I did like more. I liked the standard Elijah Craig barrel proofs more. I think that C923 is a buy. I think that A124 is a buy. Cheers, drinking buddies. I mean, this is just so much fun. The only reason I'm able to do this is because you guys like the videos, because you guys subscribe. I could not do any of this without you. I'm just so thankful that I have all of you guys liking these videos, subscribing to these videos. I'm just so blessed. Wow. It's just a wow. Sometimes I just have to stand back and go, wow. And yeah, thanks for sending me this sample. I bought these 2, obviously, but anyway, cheers, drinking buddies. Thanks for watching.
I'm your drinking buddy.